All right, we're live. Monday, July 24th. Getting a couple things rolling. Got some special guests tonight. Why don't you jump on, give us a like so we can kind of see that you're hearing us okay. James. I'm going to play a quick video while a few people jump on. Hey, Mike. You're on live. Show the fan back home. Look at that. That's definitely going to be the second big fish of the day. Hey, everyone. It's stop number 4. We're here in Jeffersonville, Indiana. It's a great day. We got 38 teams from over 11 states. See what they can catch today. We also got a lot of big things coming. This is stop 4 out of 9 events. And again, we have a $35,000 championship, no entry fee, invite only, that we're going to take your best 4 events out of 9, and we're going to invite the top 50 anglers of the year. So it's going to start getting pretty crazy. Let's start good. 34.1 cents. Doug, you know what that does? That puts you in first place. 34.17. Doug is in first place. Stunk, and that's the most important thing. There you go.
Oh, this. He starts out with
the weights keep getting bigger.
I'm telling you, I'm getting excited.
At this rate, we're going to be over 100 pretty quick.
We might be. Somebody guessed it.
We're in Jeffersonville, Indiana today. The weather's nice and hot, but expecting some big fish at the range. Hope to see you here.
Nice fish. That is beautiful.
Oh, look at that.
Ooh-wee.
That's a good one there.
That is a good one.
Oh, we got a flathead. Oh,
I was looking all over.
0.60. Getting right at long. Good weight.
Giant. Holy cow.
Look at that thing.
Woo. That will shake some stuff up right now.
All right, let's see what they got for big fish.
Holy smokes.
That's a big fish. 75.24.
Wow.
Woo! Just one fish. All right, go ahead. What's that one going to add to it?
Here we go. We'll find out.
Payout today, 106%, 11,055.92. Let's get a big round of applause. Let's get some tips. Great job.
Another hand up. Woo! That's nice up to 1,000.
$70.00.
Here it comes. Holy smokes, that's a nice fish.
Look at that. That's definitely going to be the second big fish of the day.
You know, all the fish I caught.
And a flathead. Your third place team with a total weight of 78.24. Nick Wyckoff, James Gordon, $1,520. Second place team. Yeah, Mike and Cassie, 81.02.
We started bumping 5 minutes. We had our first fish, our biggest fish.
87.45. Marcy Arnold, Travis Yost, $5,066.
Hey, we had a plan. We stuck with our plan. Plan A didn't work out. Went to Plan B. Plan B worked out.
Hey, thank everybody for. We want to thank you for coming again. Thank the sponsors. It's been a great season so far. Only 4 tournaments in, and now we got a little break, and then it's going to be like let's full bore. All right, that kind of gets you pumped up a little bit. Actually, so we got Mike on. He got second at that tournament there in Jeffersonville, and we'll have a Cape Girardeau wrap-up video here probably in the next day or two. We just got the pictures all uploaded this afternoon. Again, Seth is going to be on, Mike, and Mr. Danny Sapp. We're just going to bring everybody in and kind of go over some things that we have coming up, this past weekend, points, lots of stuff to get into, and maybe we can learn a few things from these guys. Some of these guys have been doing it for a long, long time. So let's go ahead and bring everybody in. All righty. So Danny, Seth, Mike, how's everybody doing tonight?
Good.
Not bad.
We're doing great, Alex. How are you doing?
Good. It's Monday night. We just had another big event in Cape Girardeau, and we had almost 2 months off, so now we're kind of back at it full bore. We got a lot of things coming up. I don't think I'll be home for a weekend until November, but but it's fun. Keeps you on your toes, and So Danny, I guess kind of give us a little bit of background on yourself, and a lot of people watching know you. Or know of you. You've been fishing for a long, long time. You used to travel a lot. You still travel a little bit. But how long have you been fishing catfish tournaments?
I've been fishing the Pro Tour since 2014. Very, very fortunate to meet some great people out there. The Chris Souders, Carl Morris Jr., Timmy and Tommy Walsh. No, and I could go on and on and on. I spent, many nights out of town. Yes, I traveled a lot. I did 8 states in 1 year. It's against Larry Muse, Steve Douglas, which is good friends. Very, very fortunate enough to be on the road. And up until about 2 years ago, I lost a little bit of use of my leg. I lost about 50% of my leg, and it took me down. And now I'm fighting stage 2, stage 3 lung cancer, which is still taking me down. Trust me, I hate it. I get to watch all you guys and the good fishermen out there and watch videos and watch my son. And no, it's I'll get better. I'll be back at it. I love fishing. I live for it. My wife said I lived out of my boat, which is true. I used to leave after Friday. I used to be going on my boat all weekend. But no, it's been a heck of a ride the last couple years. But I'm hoping to get it turned around. We'll know here a little more in a few weeks, and I just appreciate you having me on your show.
Yeah, no, I've looked up to you for a long time, and like I said, this is the 9th year of Twisted Cat, and I remember the first tournament you came to. I didn't know anyone. I was a greenhorn at that. So
yeah,
now it's awesome getting to know everybody in the industry from Illinois to the East Coast to South. You know what I mean, and meeting everyone. And there's a lot of great anglers, great people, personalities in the sport. And like I said, it's from 9 years ago to now, seeing how many new people are getting involved and younger people. Even this past weekend, there was a lot of younger, I want to say kids. I'm 37, but I would say mid-20s to late 20s. And, 5-6 years ago, you didn't see that. I mean,
no.
It was 40 and over. And I'm sure you could probably, say a little bit on that too. I mean, it was really kind of an older guy's sport there for a while.
Hey, Alex, my granddaughter, which is now 8 years old, made 3 major newspapers here in the Illinois area by catching a 46-pound blue cat down there in Alton. And I don't know if you remember seeing that. It's all about the kids. It really, really is. I sit there and look back. And I had that when I was growing up with my dad. I had that. A lot of kids weren't fortunate enough to have that. But I look at the new generation coming up, excuse me, like my son and younger. It's no different than fighting cancer. Fighting cancer I'm 58 years old. Okay? I've lived a good life. I've met some of the best fishermen there are in this world. And I'm proud to say that. I went up against them. Proud to say that. But it's all about the kids. We talk about cancer as being, it's terrible. But I've been to the children's hospital. I've been there. I know what it's like to walk through that glass room door. And I've learned to respect that. And that's how I'm learning to fight it. Because you got young kids out there that are fighting it. And it's terrible.
Yeah. 100%.
But no, it's just the fishing these tournaments, Twisted Cat, which has come so far, Alex. I mean, you've blown it out of the water. I mean that sincerely. I'm no question, no best tournament there is out there by far. I've got to fish them. I know, and no different than one that you're having here in Pekin, Illinois. Me and you are doing. I'm proud of it. I want to keep it here continually. And I thank you.
Yeah. I'm excited for Pekin. Like I said, it's, we're continuing to grow the events, spread out more, go more national. But do that slowly, not have too many events, where
right
when you have one on top of the other. But yeah, like I said, it's growing, it's fun, and seeing Mike, and I don't know your relationship with Mike, but just in the short time I've known him and seen him, he's a good angler a couple years ago, and now I consider him a top angler because, he can go to Jeffersonville, Indiana, get second place. He can go to Canton, Missouri, or Alton, Illinois, Cape Girardeau.
There's a lot of seconds there. There's a lot of seconds there, ain't there?
A lot of seconds, but I'll tell you what, I mean.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let me tell you something, Alex. Me and him, that's a lot of beer drinking. Yeah, because I make him supply me with all my alcoholic beverages after the tournament.
Not me.
He does a good job. Either that or I just grab Cassie, his wife, and she takes good care of me. One thing about fishing with Mike is I get to go there and I get a hug from his wife every single time. And he might be ugly, but his wife's not. She's a wonderful woman. And look at him now. Look at him doing it in front of me. He did that on purpose, by the way.
What's that?
But no, he's a great guy. An excellent fisherman. Him and his wife both are. I'm proud of them, what they've done. And seriously, I wish they were going to be there this weekend, but hey, they can't make it. But we'll call each other from Florida and that, and it's all good. No, he's one fine gentleman and one fine fisherman, and his whole family is. They're the best. They're the best.
Yeah, and like I said, it's been great to watch him, and you might have got 11th place out of 63 teams, but I mean, we kind of call that a slugfest in Cape because that's 63 incredible teams this weekend, and I mean, it wasn't an easy. Getting in the top 20, you got to really pat yourself on the back.
You know what's bugging me the most about that is the 2-pound fish we had to weigh with our others. That has been eating me alive.
Oh.
Was Pete any help, or was he just the net
he's
man?
my net man. He's the net man.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard that too. He admitted it.
But Cassie did catch the big one.
Yeah.
In the bottom of the ninth.
Yeah.
About 2:00, she caught our biggest fish. So
there we go. I heard the water level was down. It was tough
out fish.
Yeah.
I mean, that thing was probably 20 pounds shy of what it should be.
Really?
Yeah, we were guessing 50 when we put it in the boat, and I was like, and I said 46 when I hit the scale, and it was whoa. What happened?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was a big male that was all spawned out. He was all beat up too.
Yeah, that looked like a giant male spawned out channel cat to me. I mean, big knobs on his head. Man, he looked rough.
Oh boy. Did they was there any flathead caught down there?
Oh yeah. Cindy White caught a heck of a flathead.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's good. I figured it would be. I figured there'd be a good flatty out of there.
That was Cassie's personal best 3 times in a row at Twisted Cat.
That's
I
awesome.
know it was. Yeah, and I'm proud of her. That's what I mean, that I'll tell you what, Alex, you don't know Cassie real well and understand that, but this girl is a fisherman. She has exceeded expectations of most men in this this fishing world. I mean, she has.
I'd put her up against most men.
You gosh dang right, I would too. I
Well,
wouldn't
that
want
fish
to go
ought
up
to be
against
50
her.
pounds.
And she baits her
My
own
goodness.
hook. She cuts her own bait. I don't do
I
nothing
know
for
she
her.
does. That's what I'm saying. Is I wouldn't want to go against her. No. But you know what? She's a heck of a wonderful lady. I'm proud to know her. And like I said, I might not get a hug from you, buddy, but I get one from your wife every time I see her, and I love it.
I put a drink in your hand, buddy.
Yeah, so let's talk about that fish. I mean, there's a couple teams that we talked about, during the weigh-in, like it's that kicker fish. Didn't cut it this week.
No, and that was the very first fish I caught. And we had a game plan, and we stuck to it because Alton screwed us when we changed our game plan. And that was the first fish we caught in the game plan A. And it didn't. I mean, they give us 11th place, but.
So what was your game plan going down there? Like, what was kind of going on?
Well, the best news I heard was when I heard the Cape ramp was too low and we could use other ramps, because I'm not down there to fish the Mississippi in that heavy current. I've never done that a whole lot. And last year in the championship, we fished the Ohio River, and it was more like it is at home for us. Very little current. So when we got down there Friday, me and Pete talked all week about going up to the Ohio River and going all the way up to the dam. So on Friday, that was the only time we've ever come down south and put a boat in before the tournament. We drove around for an hour looking at the dam up there, and we marked fish, but we'll see what happens on the next day. And we bumped that whole stretch. We beat it up pretty good, and that little fish was the only result. So about 10 o'clock, I had enough, and I said, me and Cassie fished down in this spot, and let's go try that. That's where we fished in the championship last year. And 5 minutes into it probably wasn't even 5 minutes into that bump, I caught that middle fish we had, the one I was holding. Well, I said, I wish we would have started here to start,
Yep.
But we beat that area up even longer. And at like 1:30, I said, we got to find something else. I was thinking about going to Mississippi, but then I thought, we go left and don't catch anything. We should have went right, and it was one of them things.
Yeah.
After Alton, I don't like second guessing. So we just moved down the river probably a mile above the Mississippi. And the first bump, Cassie's rod we were bumping, and her rod was straight below, or line was right below her. Like, what's going on? And she goes, I don't know. And her rod was bent over like she had a snag. And so I grabbed the rod and I went to yank it out of the snag, and it started fighting back. So I handed the rod back. I said, here you go.
I think that was a little head shake there, buddy.
It did. And that was at like 150, I think we caught her big fish.
Beautiful.
Then we put in it, I don't even know how to say it. Cairo. But that is not a very good ramp. Or a very good town, in my opinion. So we were just wondering, we knew the bite was tough, and we're like, it was 2 o'clock, and we're like, should we just get back to the ramp before the craziness happens and get the weigh in so we know we have time. So we elected to do that, and yeah, that was it. It was, and honestly, at 1:30, we were all pretty bummed out on how the fishing was going. But
Well, I
when
heard there
she
was a lot
caught that
of
one, it was a whole game changer.
But I heard it was a lot of people said the same thing, and it's like Alex was saying, to go down there and did what you did amongst 60-some teams and good fishermen. I mean, this is what it's not always about winning or anything. You have got so many guys out there that run these trails, and I mean, they are so the camaraderie to even be at a hotel with a bunch of guys before the day of the tournament. Sure, we're all competitive. Sure, we all want to win. But you know what? The bottom line is you make friends, good people, and that's what it's all about. That's why I do what I do.
There's a lot of good people on his trail.
Yes, there are.
Mike, let me ask you this: what's your average bedtime the night before a Twisted Cat tournament?
Honestly, this tournament was probably the earliest. This tournament was probably the earliest because we were out getting bait Thursday night before we left till 1 o'clock in the morning, and we got up at 4 o'clock on Friday morning to drive to Ladd, Illinois to pick Pete up and his wife and to head down. So we were beat. So I think we were in bed by 10 o'clock actually. But usually, yeah.
What time at Alton? Because I seen you guys in Alton like at midnight.
Hey, we just stopped talking about Alton. That was late.
Yeah. Hey, Alex, there's some tournaments we just want to leave it alone, depending on where we're at.
Yeah, I can remember tournaments when me and Pete fished.
Yeah.
It was in Ottawa, Illinois, on the Illinois River, and we closed the bar down at like 2, and we had to leave his house at 4. And Pete was driving.
Oh,
and I shut my eyes, and we're sitting there for a long time. I look up, and Pete's sleeping driving. But we got second in that tournament.
I know you did. No, it's like you gotta have fun. You go on trips, right? Well, we do.
100%.
That's what I was saying though. Is when you got a group of guys, and it's everybody out there. And you just learn to appreciate it. You get away. You got that night before the tournament day, and you go to Alex's meetings and stuff before. You get to talk to these guys, in which I haven't got to do much last couple of years, and I miss it. I'm hoping to do more next year. But no, it's just all about seeing your friends. I mean, because you're all friends until you hit the water. When you hit the water, that's a different story, though, boys. We know that. We all know that. But it's all right. It's all good. But no, it's just a privilege to be out there and to do it. And you learn to appreciate it more because I can't, and I did. I know what it's like. But you learn to appreciate it more now, me looking back and saying, gosh, you went to Indiana, Ohio, Wisconsin. You traveled 8 states in 1 year. And I did it. And I did good. I had a good season. But now you can't do nothing like that. So that's why I guess I say you learn to appreciate everything a little bit more.
100%. And it's not just about the fishing. I mean, the fishing is what gets us there. And you have that camaraderie that's, miking them out until 3 a.m, doing whatever they're doing and that stuff. And it's like I said, going to dinner with your friends and all that stuff. It's getting together. And, I can still remember how I did fishing, whether it was good or bad, but I also remember, having that tomahawk steak in West Memphis at an MRM tournament with, 13 other guys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But,
Yes. Yeah, I agree. It is, and that's like having Mike and Cassie, because when we're together, me and him and his wife, it's like being around a family. Petey and I
All
were
the Tri-County guys.
Yeah, Timmy, Tommy Walsh, all those guys are my, great friends, good friends, and they still continue to look up over me. They're, I got that big benefit tournament coming up, Alex, this Saturday, and Sean Kelly, what a tremendous man. I mean, he has bent over backwards for this tournament. I mean, sincerely, it's gotten bigger than what anybody imagined. Anyone. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if I'll be able to fish it yet. I'll wait and see, but I'm going to try. I would like to, at least for a few hours. Got to talk to my brother more about that. But no, Sean Kelly has did a unbelievable job on this tournament coming up this Saturday at Chillicothe, Illinois. And I want to give a special thanks out to him. I really do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Sean called me and telling me about the tournament and stuff like that. And we got the flyer up here. It's going to be this Saturday, July 29th, 7 to noon. It's $100 entry. And just like it says, lung cancer sucks on there. But it's going to be out of Chillicothe. There's a lot of things you guys got going on.
Yeah.
Tell us more about it, Danny, just if anybody has any questions.
Super. No, I'd be more than happy to. We have a 50-50 raffle. We have a live DJ. As a matter of fact, he just left my house. The DJ that's going to be there is named Michael Brandt, and he's a wonderful guy. He's actually my nephew. It pays to know people. We have 50-50 raffles. We're doing a pull board tickets. We have got some very, very nice prizes. We got some nice rods that everyone out there in the Catfish Association will appreciate. We got tackle. We have some oh gosh dang it. I'm trying to think baskets. The amount of baskets that's come in, anywhere from the knives, to fishing lines, you name it. It's gotten so big that no, we're going to start everything. We're going to come in at noon. We're going to do the weigh-in from noon to 1. Well, like I said, we'll have the DJ there doing all the announcing. We'll have a bunch of prizes. We're supplying all the food. We got chicken. We have cheeseburgers. We have hot dogs. We have Adam Hart is doing a pulled pork. It's the event has gotten to be where now it's not just the event. It's overwhelming. It really, really is. It's overwhelming on how big this has gotten. My son, Tyler, has talked about this. He says, "Dad, you have no idea," and I don't. I really don't because I'm not actually involved. But he goes, "No, Dad." He goes, "You have no clue." They're going to do. Hey, Alex, they're doing your thing on that morning. That morning before the tournament. What do you always do?
The national anthem.
Thank you. Yeah. And I think that first tournament I ever fished in was yours. That did the national anthem. I thought that was the greatest thing ever. And I mean that sincerely. They're doing that for me that morning. Yeah. And we're going to come in at noon. We're going to do the weigh-in. We're going to start feeding the public, general public, and everybody at about 1 o'clock. Lots of food, good times, good music. And you know what? Like Michael Kuehl and Cassie, good friends. And
hey, Danny.
Yeah.
Before when we leave tomorrow to go to Florida, I'm going to stop by Pete's house and drop a couple of cast nets off to doing the auction for you guys.
Hey, thank you very much, buddy. I appreciate it. You know I do. Hey, do me a favor, though. Next time you go to Florida, take me with you. Take me with you.
We got one open seat.
Oh, I wish I could go, brother. I really do. No,
I don't want to. I want to go fishing.
You know what? I'm going to miss not having you there. I'm going to miss my hug, actually, more than I got to be honest with you. I'm going to miss Cassie.
I'm going to tell her, and she's going to be upset.
I know she will.
Maybe she will stay home and go fishing. I don't want to drive to Florida.
Oh my Lord! I guess yeah, you know, an old Petey called me and Mel's coming. He said, yeah, Mel's fishing and everything. And I've had so many offers. All the guys call me up and say, hey, you don't need to worry about getting any bait. You don't have to worry. We just want your old butt in the boat that morning. And we're going to bring the boat. We're going to bring the bait to the boat for you that morning. And I said, wow, that's something else. How many times you ever had that happen to you guys? Bring fresh bait
Well,
to your boat.
Pete was going to borrow my
Think
boat.
about that. Yeah. Think about that. It doesn't happen. You know what?
No.
You know, I've
doesn't.
never. And speaking of that bait situation, fishing that Tri-County series, I've never been asked in before a tournament, hey, do you guys need bait?
Yeah.
I've never been asked that fishing that area down where Danny's at. That was weird.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's just you know, it's something that doesn't happen. But you know what? It's like we said, and we always do, and all of us guys here sitting there watching this right now. You know, Carl Morris Jr., which is one of my good friends, and I've been able to follow him and fish up against him and be alongside of him. Said the same thing. He goes, Danny, it's not always about winning, and he's right. It's not. It's about fishing with these guys, a group of guys you get to see every month, you know, and you learn to appreciate it. You really, really do. You can work all the hours in the week. Alex, you too. You and Jeremy Cole. With Jeremy, you know, Jeremy's my good buddy. And you guys can work all the week and travel all you want to. But you know what? The bottom line, at the end of the week, you got your friends. And that's all you got. You got your family. And appreciate them. Every moment, appreciate them.
100%. That's something I've learned. The older I get, the more I appreciate things in life, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, you do. And when you go through tough times, but you got good friends, you got good family that back you, Alex, it's the difference in the world. You know, I'm thankful for having 3 daughters and a son that cares about me. You know, I'm thankful for my big brother that fishes with me. I'm thankful for Sean Kelly. I'm thankful for everyone. I am. You learn to. It's like you said though, Alex. You learn to. The older you get, learn to appreciate more and more and more because you look back at what you've done, and who you've been with, and reality sinks in. I guess you know you take life for granted for only so long in your life in your years. You know, but no, I do. I have no regrets. If I die tomorrow, I'm 58 years old. I have no regrets, none.
Hey, Danny.
Yeah.
I don't know if Pete's on here, but you fished with him quite a bit, right?
Yes, I did. We finished.
Was he as good of a net man for you as he is for me?
Actually, he watched the catch. Yes, he was. I know Pete's watching, but he can remember when we were down the Cumberland River, and that's where we finished top 10 2 years in a row, 18 and 19 in the championship. I remember him. I caught a 40-some pound striper, and I thought I had a big blue on. And he laughed so hard because I got him in the boat, the striper, and I lifted. I was so mad. I mean, I was mad. And Pete, and I was, yes, I was cussing, Alex. I was cussing. Yes, I was. And Petey, and Petey was just sitting there in the front of the bow of the boat, just laughing. He thought it was so funny. And I'm going, there's nothing funny about it. You know what I'm saying? This ain't right. Yeah. And I did that 3 years in a row, guys. I went to the Cumberland River and caught a big 30-pound plus striper for 3 years in a row. But the last one was the ultimate when I was with Petey in my boat. It was terrible. And I hated him for it. All the way back to the hotel, or all the way back to the cabin, I hated him for it.
Because he is a hell of a net guy. He didn't miss a fish in Alton for me.
No, he doesn't. He's a good net guy. He is a good net guy. But no, he's also a good fisherman. So I can't sit there and say nothing. I've been with him in the boat too many times, and he is a good fisherman. And he's my good friend. So no, his wife Mel, they're wonderful people, and I love them to death. I really do, and we have a close relationship like I do with you and Cass, and It's all good. It's all good, partner.
Yeah, that net man's an important position, like Seth said. You know what I mean? Pete
Yeah.
looks like a good net man too. He
Well,
looks like he's on.
I actually netted a fish on Saturday. That was the first fish I netted down that way in a long time.
Did he net your smallest fish this weekend?
He did. I caught the smallest and the medium fish. He netted them both, but I netted Cassie's fish.
there you go.
And
There
I've never seen if the fish she caught would have done one more thing, that hook would have ripped out because it was just by the skin of the lip.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Right there, just right there on the skin, right there on the lip. Huh?
Yeah.
One good head shake.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was a rough looking fish too.
Oh, it was brutal. I was thinking, man, we're gonna bring this in, and they're gonna think we pulled out of a fucking cage or something, you know.
That fish reminded me of how you guys look usually the morning of the tournament.
That's more Hillbilly and Gene.
I was gonna say that's yeah. We're just a bunch of old hillbillies.
We're good to go in the morning.
Yeah, we are. We're ready and willing. Alex, I've seen you catch some nice fish, though. You know more about this than what you're sitting back on. I know what you've done. I've watched you in tournaments. I've watched you in weigh-ins, partner, and you're a good fisherman. You are. You're a good fisherman.
I can catch them every now and then.
But when we were on our way home yesterday, Cassie had a memory on Facebook. 1 year ago, we started bumping. So 1 year ago. And we still have a lot to learn bumping. So it's a whole different. I mean, we don't have the current up where we're at like it is down south. So that's a whole different world. We're bumping last year up on the Mississippi, and we're bumping at 0.3 mile an hour. I mean, you're just jigging.
Mike, what's the smallest weight you've ever used?
So I remember, I mean, 2 ounces is about as low as I go. I mean, you can get it out there a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not very far out, but we started doing it up here in Pool 14 is the closest Mississippi for us, and it's like 20 minutes for us. And I was using 2 ounces last year, and but you're going super slow, and you're not very far.
What about you, Sal?
Did you see that guy who's bumping with 3/8 this week?
I heard about it. I heard about it.
You got that?
I don't know where that would have been.
Yeah, not from what I've heard. I don't know where that would have been.
In the console of my truck. So I fished against them guys quite a few times, and I've seen them in some spots that I wondered how they were fishing. I don't know that I believe they were bumping with 3/8 ounce weight, but I know they were bumping with some. I know they were moving that bait slow. And those guys, like I said, that's what I love about these tournaments is the sport is there's a lot of anglers getting better and better and better. And, you always have a couple boats that do really good, but, that Chris Stout and Hunter Jones are incredible. And they're always consistent. And, anytime you're weighing 143 pounds like that, because I fished against them in Cape 2 years ago. And I had them on day one. I think we had 168 pounds, and then had a rough day two. They had a good day one and two, and crushed us. You know what I mean? But just being consistent.
You guys don't know how lucky you guys are. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
How lucky you guys are to catch these big fish every weekend. You guys go out.
Look at
we got
smiling.
5 to 10 pound channel cats up here. I'm a channel cat guy. I'm coming down to play with the big boys, and
we ain't got much better, Mike. Don't let them
fool you. I know where you guys are, but
we got to travel to find them.
I tell you what, though, Alex, guys, we have been catching this year and last year. Our blue cat, as far as our blues goes, has been going up and up and up the last 2 years in a row. And
did you see it?
There was just one. Mike, what was that? 36 pounds on the.
Yeah, 36 in the St. Jude tournament
yeah.
2 weekends ago.
Yeah, and the flathead fishing around here has just been phenomenal this year. My son has proved he's my son kills the flathead this year. It's just, I wish I could be with him, but yeah, no, I've seen them. I've seen pictures of them. The fishing, the flathead fishing, and the blue fishing. The blue fishing, what surprised me more because I hear more and more and more being caught every year the last couple of years. So
Good.
I'm glad to see that. You know, I just hope the water levels maintained where we keep them here.
We don't have a lot of water on the Mississippi. What's funny, you guys saying that the blues are moving up. If I say this every podcast, if Max DeBay is on here, he's catching blues. How far up, Seth?
I don't know, Wisconsin, I think. I'm not really sure, but somebody said at the tournament this weekend that they caught him in like pool 12 or something like that. Caught one that was like 30 pounds.
We hear that all the time up here on the Rock River, because the Rock River is 2 blocks from my house, right behind me. I hear people, oh, we caught blues. I said, no, you didn't.
No,
We hear it all
they
the
don't
time.
know what a blue cat is.
Yeah.
If I had $1 for every time I heard Max DeBay catch a blue cat in pool 19, that's money.
Oh yeah. I'd like
But
to see it.
why don't they go further north? Does anybody know that answer?
No, I don't. Seth, what's
I
your
have no
answer?
idea.
I
No
don't have
idea.
one. Yeah,
You
I
know
don't
what?
have
We're gonna bring a biologist from Western Illinois University that they did studies for 2 years in my trail. They tagged the diet samples and all that, and they've actually tagged some fish from 19, put them in 20, flipped them around, all that. And that'd be a good question, but it's something about up there. I mean, they even did the Asian carp study, and they brought them from 19 and put them in 20, tagged them. And within a day, they went back up. They actually went and I think locked through the lock.
Yeah,
in
8 hours they locked back up. Locked back up through.
So,
Wow.
so we talked to a guy, I don't know if it was, I think it was 2 weeks ago down in the Quad Cities. And he said years ago they put radio collars or radio tags on flatheads. And they had one that they released in the Rock River, and the wintertime it spent down below Burlington. Then it would come back up to the Quad Cities in the summertime.
Wow.
Fish are insane. I mean, sturgeon's a different animal, but I talked to a guy, they tagged a sturgeon in Alton, and it swam all the way up into our pool and then up the Des Moines River up to Ottumwa to spawn.
That's
That
unreal.
is a long, long ways.
Yes, it is. That's unreal. That's
Then
wow.
they'd have some though that would be at the bottom end of an island and at a certain time of the day, and they'd swim up to the top end for 15 minutes, and they're back. They go back to their spot.
Wow.
And I've talked to this guy twice, and he's told me the same story twice with no changes. So I don't know. Do you believe him?
Yeah. Right.
Hey, Seth, you're going to be there at the Pekin tournament, aren't you?
I got my son's birthday is Saturday, so I can't make
you
that.
really?
Yeah.
I wish
Yeah,
you could make it, partner. I wish you'd be there.
Oh, so do I. I wanted to compete in that one. Would have been fun.
Well, you will, because me and Alex got to keep it here, and that's our job. And he works that end, and I work this end, and you know what? We got it handled. We'll be fine.
Oh yeah.
Hey, this is kind of for Danny and Mike. I know Mike's kind of not been around as long as Danny, but so when you go out and you fish like this past weekend, if you went out on Friday, and because I talked to some teams that had this, they pre-fished Thursday, they caught some good fish in a section Thursday morning, got out of there, went back Friday morning, marked these fish, just good marks in the morning. Didn't put any bait down. They wanted to kind of find a second spot. So like around 11 o'clock, they came back to their first spot that they caught fish on Thursday morning. They marked them again on Friday morning, left them, came back. But at 11 o'clock, it was a ghost town. The fish were all gone. So my question is, in a scenario like that, do you think those fish, that's a morning kind of position that they're going to be in? and then they're just transitioning from that water to a water across the river, up the river a little bit, down the river? Are they making a 5-mile run? Like, what do you do in that situation? Do you try to find them in that similar area?
I'll be
There
right
were
back.
some teams. All right. He isn't going to answer that question. What do you think about that, Danny?
You know what? Alex, and everybody has their own philosophy when it comes to that. Going from a morning fish to an afternoon to an evening. The afternoon bite to me is the toughest. Okay, and I think it's sun up, sun down. That's a different story. That's my favorite time to be out there. But we've all had a tough time. Seems like that 11 o'clock hour to that 2 o'clock hour. Ask Mike. Mike's here. What do you think, Mike? Do you agree that it's a tough bite? It is. You got to work to find these fish. I think they. I think they.
I mean, it depends on the day. I think.
Yeah, it does.
Sometimes,
I agree.
Granted, let's just say I think it was 3 weeks ago, we fished that Castner Relief tournament out of Pekin or Coochie's.
Coochie.
Me and Pete caught fish from the time we first spot locked till 10:30, and we left it to go see if we could find some bigger fish.
Right.
The whole day. We couldn't even sit down on the boat. We caught fish constantly.
See,
I think it depends on the day.
I think it does too. I do. And like I said, everybody's got their philosophies on it, but we've all had those days to where you hit 9:30 or 10 o'clock in the morning, and you've been there, Mike. You know it. It goes dead. And you get on the first thing in the morning, you're on them and you're on fire thinking, oh my goodness, we're going to have a good day. But I think you're right. It depends on the day. That's what it's all about.
And then it works the opposite way too. You're not catching nothing, boom, all of a sudden they turn on and you can't keep big fish off your hook.
Mike, how many times have we fished
depends on fish
not had a
too.
fish in the boat until 9 or 10 o'clock?
Right.
How many times have we done that?
But I am one of them that are totally against pre-fishing too.
So am I.
And Alex has seen it. I come down to them tournaments. I don't fish. I just go fish.
What? That's one thing I like about this guy, Alex, because he's like me. My son, he has to pre-fish, and me and you already talked about this, Alex. Me and Mike, I don't pre-fish. Now I'll go down there and I'll chart all day long. Me and Sean, no matter where, Ohio River, Cumberland, that doesn't matter. Mississippi, Tennessee, we will chart. But I never have a fishing rod in my boat, ever. I don't pre-fish. I don't believe in it.
Well, Danny, you remember that year me and Cassie won the team of the year for Tri-County?
Yes.
We never pre-fished. We never put the boat on the water. The only time we were on that water is for tournaments.
And that was what made it good and special, because me and Petey has screwed ourselves so many times, mostly down in Tennessee, and caught such nice. I mean, we would have won the tournament. We would have won. Yeah, we would have won the Cabela's. And I told Petey after that time, I said, Pete, I can't do this no more. I cannot pre-fish anymore. I'll chart, but I'm not doing this. I'm not going to kill myself.
I mean, I hear so many people that say, yeah, we caught fish a couple days ago. I said, well, yeah, you stuck them, they ain't gonna bite again. I hear that all the time.
I find a spot, and I don't go back to that spot. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now, Danny, your son is different. If we had an award for the best fish caught pre-fishing, I would win it every time. I promise.
And Alex, I have told him time and time. We've already talked. We had this conversation just a week ago, Alex. I love him to death, and he's a good fisherman. He really, really is. He's a very good fisherman. But every time he goes out pre-fishing, I get these pictures the day before, and the day of the tournament, not worth it. Dang, Dad. Yeah. No, it's just I
got a perfect example.
So
me and Pete went down the Quad Cities, and we got some bait, and we started fishing. We were on some really good channels down there. And I was like, you know what? I think there's a tournament coming up next weekend. And I'll bet if we would have weighed our top 5 in the Rock Island pool, it would have been over 40 pounds easy. And then very next weekend was a 10 fish channel limit. We caught 4 fish
I
all
remember that
day.
one. Yeah.
And we had 14 pounds on 4 fish.
Oh.
So, I mean, what's pre-fishing do for you?
Yeah.
I mean, people can say what they want. I don't agree with it. There you go. That's a perfect example. I don't know if that was pre-fishing or just fun fishing, but
No, that's, to me, that's not, I don't mind charting. Me and Kelly chart all the time. And we'll run 2 or 3 mile an hour, but it's just like the old saying is, just because the fish are there that day doesn't mean they're going to be there the next day. And that's true. I'm a firm believer in that. But
and then when
you better have more than 1 or 2 places to go, guys, if they aren't there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You better have.
When me and Cassie went to Jefferson, me and Cassie went to Jeffersonville this year. I've never even laid eyes on that water. We drove down to the boat ramp right before the meeting started just to see what it was going to look like in the dark.
Yeah.
So that's all we saw of the river.
So what do you do like that, Mike, when you don't get to pre-fish or you don't pre-fish? Do you look at Navionics on your way there, or you just?
Well, I do. I look at Navionics. I got the app on my phone. I look at that a lot. I need to update my card because it doesn't show what my phone does. I think that's what I need to do. I'm not a whole lot about that. I don't know a lot about that, but I usually use Lake Master for anything up this way.
That's what I got.
But yeah, I look at them. I look at Google Maps. I look at all that stuff all the time. Like today at lunchtime when I was at work, I was looking at Crothersville because he's got my attention on this tournament now.
Right.
So what are you looking for on Navionics? What do you?
I like fishing deep water ledges. That's what I like. And
I do too. My favorite.
It works for me, and that's what I look for. I mean, you can't pass up a grain elevator either if you see one, but
no, but
mainly,
John and Kevin said they were fishing them ledges really tight.
So a ledge right off the main channel.
It doesn't always work, but what's that?
So a ledge right off the edge of the main channel, maybe, or something of that nature.
Yeah. I mean, we were fishing like. What's that?
You're talking. It's like Peoria.
We had 25 foot of water, and it dropped down to 40 foot of water, and that's what I was looking for. I mean,
right.
There was a gentleman. Everybody knows him, Mark Farrell. He always says, "On a fish in the river, you can't go wrong on ledges."
There you go.
That's what he told me. When in doubt, fish a ledge.
Yeah.
Or something to that extent.
And Mark's no joke.
Yeah.
Mark's no joke.
No.
Yeah, he's one of the best fishermen, one of the best ones I know of all time. But yeah,
he probably had more 80+ pound fish in his boat than most anybody alive right now.
Oh, I've never. Yeah, Seth. I agree. Right. I agree. I've never. He invited, him and Tyler, my son, are good friends, and he takes him. Tyler goes down there and he just takes him out and fun fishing, and it's unbelievable what that man does.
Oh yeah.
Just to go along with him and just be in the same boat and watch him do what he does, I guess, is second to none.
I believe it.
Yeah, and what a great guy. I have nothing but 100% respect for that gentleman. He's earned it. Okay, he's earned it.
Oh, yeah.
But also finding the right spot, you also have to have the right bait. They don't want the same bait every day.
They don't. You're right. They don't.
Because when we fished the Indiana tournament, all we had was fresh mooneye. That's what they wanted. That's what we caught them on.
Hey,
we come down last weekend. We brought a cooler full of mooneye. We caught the little fish on the mooneye.
Yeah.
The rest of it the other two come on skipjack.
You want to hear a good one? I fished Jeffersonville, Indiana, for the championship, Cabela's championship, when I was with Chris Souders and fishing across from me. Chris and Carl Morris Jr. was down from me about 1.5 miles. Now, we were getting, you're going to die on that. We were getting ours on creek chubs. We were getting our fish on creek chubs, and they were getting their fish on shad. But we used shad, and we couldn't catch a fish on shad. I mean.
Well, I've been there up here, Danny.
Yeah, and I tell you what was different down there. We were in Jeffersonville. This was 2019. The normal pool down there was 13.8 on the Ohio. We got down there to pre-fish. It was 42-1, guys. I watched swing sets. I had to remove stuff off the boat ramp to put my boat in. And I ain't kidding you. It was they were talking about canceling the tournament. Jeremy was, and Jeremy Cole was running it back then. And it was terrible. It was 42 foot when I got down there to go out there and scout. And I mean, sincerely, I put my boat in the water. It was at 2 minutes, backed up, and here comes a swing set going by the side of my boat. I said, this ain't good. But no.
So, Danny, do you like a high river or a low river?
You know what? I'd much rather have a low river. I really do. I like the low river.
I agree.
I'm with you on that one, but I love fishing those channel edges. You know, when we get up into like the up to the upper Peoria Lake area and stuff that me and you fish, and Cassie, I love fishing up there, and Timmy and Tommy do the same thing. You know, but I'm one of those. I like fishing off the levee. I really do. I concentrate on that. I do.
Yeah, I love low water.
There you go.
You think
lower the better for me, honestly.
Yeah, you know what?
Do what?
I agree with you 100%, Mike. I like low water. You know, I do. I just think I think it's got something to do with it's easier to mark fish. You know what I'm saying? It's easier you get high waters. You got to spend more time on the water in high waters. You got to go back. You got to go back. Sometimes you go back in places you couldn't believe you're going back, and I've been there. And that's what I don't like fishing about high water. But there's
more
guys out
for them
there.
to hide.
Well, there's guys out there like Timmy and Tommy and them, and they like Kenny, Latrell. Them guys, they love that high water stuff, and you know, and hey, that's great, that's super. But I know I'm the same way. I don't like the high water. Mike, I'll take a little water anytime.
Do you think you can?
I can remember when Alex had a tournament out of Burlington. Go ahead.
Do you think you can?
You remember that tournament in Burlington was at the top of the ramp?
Yeah.
Look at him.
Go ahead,
yeah,
Mike.
He's asking if you remember that tournament.
You remember your last tournament in Burlington, or was that the super top of the ramp?
Yeah, you couldn't
Alex?
see it. Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
I hated that. Now, one year you had to cancel it and move it later in the year. I think that was probably the best we ever did in Burlington, or I think it was Port Madison that time.
Yeah,
I think you moved it to Port Madison.
Yeah, we finished 7th. Me and Kelly did in Port Madison, and that was, I think, Alex, 2 years ago. And we fished it 3 years. 3 years now we fished it. Every time we go, it's raining, 40-mile-an-hour winds. We've had to Alex knows this. We rescued a boat that was sinking. Yeah, and I mean it's just Kelly gets here to the house and we take off to go. It's always an adventure. In Fort Madison, for some reason, we're going to get rain, we're going to get snow, we're going to get wind. It doesn't matter. It's just that time of year.
You're gonna have a wheel fall off, probably.
Oh, okay. Had that happen too. You remember that, Mikey? My whole trailer. I lost my whole hub. $400 tow bill getting it home that day. Yeah, that was a good tournament. Hey, I cashed a check. Great, here goes the check. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was a good.
I can remember the first tournament me and Cassie fished out of Port Madison for I think it was the second or third Calvin Meyer one.
Calvin Meyer, yeah.
And it was windy, really windy, and we didn't have the Sea Arc then, but I think we made it like a mile down the river, and she goes, "Fish here, we're done."
We're done.
She said, "Fish here." We caught so many fish, and we ended up getting like 3rd place.
Nice.
But it was so rough down there. We went down the river from the ramp, and I think we made it a mile before she said, "We're done. We're done."
No. Oh. No, you know what? I love fishing the area because there's some good fishing there. Seriously, there is. But I wish I could.
You catch a lot of fish.
Well, I just wish I could get a day without a 40-mile-an-hour wind or rain and you know, and battling it.
The fish won't bite.
Yeah. That's so. I take it for granted. I'll be back again next year. I love fishing. I did get to fish that one this year, and we had a heck of a time. We with the motor this year. But no, we got a new motor now. Me and Kelly will be back next year on the water. We're gonna fight her hard and do what we can. But hey, guys, I got a low battery going on the phone, so I got to get off here.
Well, hey.
All right. Well, good seeing you, Danny.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have you on again, Danny. As we could probably be on there for hours. But thanks for being on. And again, if we'll send some people your way this weekend.
Thank you very much, Alex, and thank you for your time. Hey, Mike, don't forget to tell Cassie I said hi, Seth. You take care of yourself.
Yeah, you too. We'll be seeing you.
You still got the same phone number, Danny, right?
Yeah, same phone number.
You still got the same phone number? Okay, we'll give you a call. Okay.
All right, buddy. Seth, you guys, I'll see you soon.
All right, we'll see you, Danny. Take care.
Bye, buddy.
Oh, Mr. Danny Sapp. Well, that's good. We're having
hell of a guy.
They got a yeah, absolutely.
Tyler needs to give him a phone charger.
He does.
Right.
Tyler needs to step up. Tyler's probably pre-fishing right now.
Tyler was walking in the background the whole time. I figured he'd stop and say hi, but
no, he's probably going to pre-fish or something. So, Mike, back to this bait thing. This is something I really want to know about. To me, like, I think it's crazy. Like, they're only going to bite. Like, people say, oh, it's only going to be skipjack heads or skipjack bodies or live moon eye or this or that. Like, to me, I go to a tournament. I mean, as long as I got bait that's good and not like mushy or nasty, like, I'm confident.
That's what I started.
You really think that matters?
Different rivers, different baits. My opinion. I mean, this is my opinion. Rock River, which is like a half a mile behind me. Moon eye, I don't think moon eye is the bait ever. Illinois River, right now, in my opinion, when that water hits 80 degrees, if you ain't got moon eye in the boat, you might as well stay home. And like I said, that's my opinion. And that's all we had in Jeffersonville was moon eye. And that's what they bid on for us. So I think for the moon eye bite, I think it's the water temperature. Personally. Colder water bait is shad. I don't fish with skipjack a lot, so I don't know much about that. But I can tell you our two biggest fish we caught.
Comprehending that you can put a fresh skipjack or fresh shad on the head of a big fish, and he's not going to eat it. But then you throw a moon eye in there or whatever combination, and he'll eat that. That I don't know.
But the two fish, the biggest fish we caught were on skipjack heads this weekend, and I mean they weren't little heads.
Was it
but
fresh?
We had a lot of bites. They were fresh from Americat. But we did have the little fish come on moon eye that we weighed in, but we had a lot of hits. And then, like I said, we're new to bumping, so sometimes when them fish smack the rod, you wanna pull back. But what I've learned from the short time I've been doing it, them fish that are smacking are little fish. The bigger fish that I've caught, I've never caught a giant. My biggest fish bumping is like 30 some pounds. So I'd love to catch a 50 doing it. But they just seem to pull. They hit it and they pull, but they don't smack it. I don't know what your guys' opinion on that are, but
yeah, I'd agree with that.
But I remember we fished the Alton Classic last year. We weren't catching, or we pre-fished down there. We were down below St. Louis, and we weren't catching nothing. It didn't matter what we fished. And finally, I threw a demon dragon on. And I'm sitting there bumping. I got my phone in the hand watching TikTok, and I had a fish hit, and it about ripped her out of my hand. Holy smokes. And it was only 12 pounds. Like, that's crazy. It about ripped it right out of my hand, damn near. But I also learned we caught them two fish in Jeffersonville that were over like a 20 and 30 bumping. They didn't hit very hard. So I don't know. I'm new to it, so we're learning as we go.
Was just telling us this weekend that what was it, like an 8-pound channel cat ripped the rod out of his hand and he's bumping. Alex?
Yeah.
I mean, we started bumping up here
after it.
in the channel. The 2-3 pound channel cats really smack it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, people have,
and they hit hard.
but I can't. I mean, my goal this year fishing your tournaments, Alex, is I'm going to weigh a 50 this year. One way or another, I'm going to get 50.
If I had a bet on that, I would probably go that you're going to weigh a 50.
Oh, it's because you added that Caruthersville tournament. Now that's got my balls rolling. I wasn't. That's like 2 weekends in a row or skip a week and go.
You might get one.
I was already planning on you. What's that?
You might get one up in Muscatine too. You never know.
Well, that's gonna be a different story up there. That's gonna be a tough one. That can be anybody's game.
50-pound flathead come out of there.
I don't know. I think 36 is gonna be the big flathead for that tournament.
What do you think is going to take it back? I think 65.
I'm gonna say 72. But I mean, you're gonna need flathead to win that thing. If it's an all channel win, it's gonna take 43 pounds.
That's a good weight still.
I've been down there 3 times in the past month and a half, and we've always been told it's tough to catch nice channels down there, but we've done really good. Even during the spawn, we caught some really good ones.
I didn't catch a catfish. We only
I was commenting you were in the wrong spot. I seen where you're at. But everything was caught on Moon Eye too down there when we fished.
Yeah, you seen my bait. It was a little shad. I mean, like little shad.
Did you go up to the dam up there?
I did, and it looked interesting. I marked
it was crazy. I put in there one morning, and it was really foggy. I was like, I'm going to go check the dam out. I got up there, and I was like, what is going on? I couldn't see more than 20 yards. I was like, what is going on? Because the next dam up's not bad. And the next dam after that ain't bad. Why are they letting so much water out? But yeah, it was crazy. You couldn't hardly stand on like the live well to grab a rod.
Wow.
But yeah, we caught. I mean, there's a lot of commercial guys there too. When I was fishing that morning, I watched a guy pull a big old hoop net out. I don't know what was in it, but
you know what? They really commercial fish pool 19, and that pool is just. I don't know if it helps it or hurts it, but I tell you, there's a lot of good fish to get caught in pool 19.
There's a couple local guys that'll pull out a couple thousand channel cats a day out of there.
And which town's that on?
That's Fort Madison pool.
Is that Fort Madison?
Fort Madison, Montrose, Dallas City.
I got 14 up here where I'm at. So there's a lot of pools between.
Yeah.
So how's the bait down in that pool? Can you guys get Moon Eye down there?
Oh yeah. It's weird. In pool 20, we can get giants. In pool 19, I don't really ever go up there much, but
yeah.
I just had a helicopter fly over. I didn't hear none of that.
I said in pool 19, which, you know, for me, I can be on the water in 5 minutes here in Warsaw. So I'm in pool 20, and usually the bait's amazing. You can catch, you know, I can throw a cast net, catch a skipjack, Moon Eye, and shad in the same throw. So it's hard for me to go anywhere else. Yeah. I mean, that's when it's good. Obviously, when it's low like this, it's a little rough, but I've not messed around in pool 19 very much, just, you know, with shad guts and shad for channel cat. But
yeah, we have giant bait here too. I mean, an average shad is over 12, 14 inches, I'd say, wouldn't you, Alex? Like that's average.
Really?
Average, yeah. So when you can find them.
So if you guys fish Moon Eye, do you guys prefer big Moon Eye or little Moon Eye? Now, little Moon Eye, I'm talking 6 inches.
Yeah, we don't get those really.
Really?
Or I never do anyway.
Yeah, I throw giant bait. Like I said, it's usually I can only fish in the evening because I'm busy during the day, and I'm throwing big bait. I even throw them live sometimes. There's a couple guys, some older guys that used to fish this pool a lot. When it's low like this. This is 10, 15 years ago. That's all they would do is they would drag Moon Eye upriver, like on the rock banks, and one hook right through the nose, it'd stay alive and drag it, and they would just catch a lot of good fish doing that. Like that was their thing. And it was big. There was these two guys, they would always fight with each other because one always wanted to have a double hook, the other didn't. So they would lose a couple because it was, a big Moon Eye like that. They might not always hit the hook or hit the hook right. So they'd lose them. They'd have a little bit of drag and then gone and then rip the bait off. And it depends on the current and a lot of other, right now you could drag up river, which is, I personally would rather have a ton of current right now in this pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like fishing no current. That's why your championship's going to be interesting.
Yep. It'll be the clearest water you've ever fished.
Really?
I'll tell you that. Yep.
I'm not a lake guy, so that's going to be interesting. So when you gonna update points and all that, so everybody knows what's going on?
Tomorrow morning. We'll talk about points. So, Jason Hamilton is in the lead with a
Not by much.
I think it was first, third, fourth, and 11, or first, third, fourth, and 18th. But you now have a second, and 11,
And a bad one.
And a really bad one. And then we're going to be going to your back. I call it your backyard because it's kind of your backyard. Muscatine and Pekin is close enough where you could throw a baseball and hit the water.
Yeah.
Or kind of. So, I think that you have some really good opportunities there. If you fish Caruthersville, you've already proven in Jeffersonville and in Cape what you can do on the big river. But again, what's interesting about Twisted Cat is none of the tournaments are a given. It's all impressive fishermen. You got to
look at Fort Madison.
100%.
Look at Fort Madison. I think I've gotten third in one of your tournaments there, and I've gotten third multiple times there. This year, it was a flop. We fished that tournament, and we didn't catch a single fish till like 11 o'clock. Then we left that area. We went right back to where we started, and boom, we started catching fish like crazy. So, but
what was the deal there, you think?
I have no idea. We fished it for a while, and we moved across the river to get out of the wind for a while because it was brutal out there. It was cold, and we didn't catch any fish on the other side of the river, so we moved back right where we started, and boom, we started catching fish.
Were you dragging, or were you just anchor?
Huh?
Were you dragging, or were you anchor fishing?
We were anchored. I don't really drag bait. I haven't had a lot of experience in it. And just like bumping, I haven't had a lot of experience in doing that either. Probably Jeffersonville, your last one in Cape. They're probably the only two tournaments I've ever bumped the whole tournament.
It's crazy to think that you just started doing that technique and then you not really. There's so many people that are dragging the rivers now. There were a few 10, 12 years ago, and now a lot more people are. Everybody's dragging the lakes, but dragging rivers is really the new technique that, like I said, I was dragging it last Tuesday in the channel in Quincy, right up the channel, upriver, planer boards, 0.5, catching blue cats.
It's gotten to the point now where, you almost just leave your anchor at home. You can either drag upriver or you can drift downriver, one of the two. I don't know if my anchor's been in the water this year at all.
Mine has one day, and I got an Altura, I spot locked. The only time my anchor went in the water was in Muscatine. My belt broke, but I mean, when we fished the Alton tournament, we spot locked all day. And that's what I want to get at about something too. Changing game plan. Don't change your game plan. Because we changed it the morning of the tournament. We seen all that debris floating down the Missouri. And we went to the Mississippi. We caught one fish by noon. And we said, let's go back to Missouri and see it. It cleaned up, and right away we caught our fish. And we lost that tournament, what, like 6 ounces? By Hamilton beat us by the 6 ounces. So we lost 5 hours fishing in Missouri.
It's one of those things, though, Mike. Like we fished a tournament a couple months ago, or probably a month ago now, and we anchored all day long. We had a really solid anchor bite going. We scanned 3 days beforehand, pre-fished a little bit. Very confident that it was going to do well. Anchored all day. It was like the last 45 minutes of the tournament didn't have a bite. So we said, let's go bump. Went bumping at a 65 in the boat within about 10 minutes.
That's the one you caught, that monster?
Yeah.
But we did the same thing last year in that tournament. We were going to fish. We were all licensed to fish the Missouri River, but we put in at Grafton in the early tournament. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble. Boss just got home.
Uh-oh.
But we put in at Grafton the day before. And we marked a lot of fish. Come day of tournament, I mean, we didn't catch a fish. And I'm like, why? What is going on up in that pool that early in the year that we didn't even catch a fish? So we learned partially go fish the Missouri that time of the year. But then when we got down to the Missouri at Columbia Bottoms earlier this year after all that rain, and when it was foggy, we seen all that debris floating. A normal person would have went home.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we went out to the Mississippi and we fished and fished and fished, and we finally caught one fish. Like, it was that 10-pounder.
Right.
You're wanted on video. Yeah, hurry back.
Where's she gotta go?
She says, can I go put my stuff in the house and take off my shoes? She's a cook at a nursing home.
Well, now she's home and she can talk about that big fish.
Right.
But what I was saying earlier, I fished a tournament last year on the lower Mississippi, and the morning bite, we were just on sand, and the fishing was really, really good. And come like at 10 o'clock, the fish, as we kept hitting the same spot, we slowly were moving over into the deeper water and following the fish. And it was interesting that day to really learn and understand how those fish moved, and we followed them. And they moved from the sand to the other side of the bank, and we were catching them on deep rock. And it was just awesome staying on those fish and kind of following them. But, you really have to have that game plan. You really got to pay attention to your sonar so you're not fishing. I always call it fishing for ghost. So Charlie Blair is my partner sometimes, and he'll want to kind of stay on that track, but you just got to keep getting over. Well, hello, Cassie.
Hello.
Wait, situate this.
He was saying all good things about you.
Hello.
He usually does.
How was work today?
Interesting.
Did you tell everybody about your big weekend?
I did. I showed a couple people.
You're getting on camera.
I'm sorry, I'm hot.
Can you turn the camera?
I don't.
The camera.
If I turn the phone sideways, what's that going to do?
Try it.
Hey, there you go.
That's better.
See?
Am I supposed to see people's comments when I'm doing when I'm on here?
Yeah, it's almost impossible for us. Alex has got to kind of handle that.
I keep eye on the comments.
Because once in a while they pop up on the screen and I can catch some of them, but I don't see anything other than YouTube.
I show some of them up there.
I see Flaherty's comment there. Yo, Cass.
Yeah.
It's a K, not a C. I gotta let dog out.
So he was telling us about your fish, and you thought that you might be hung up, and
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
boom.
what's your version of the story?
Tell us your version of the story.
Well, we were bumping, and next thing I know, like my line just stopped moving, and I'm like, what is going on? And nothing happened. So he took the rod and started reeling it, and
Well, I went to pull it out of the snag because I thought you were snagged.
yeah.
Then I says,
Oh, there's a fish. And then I took it back and like, no, it's mine.
And did it fight pretty hard? Because that was a rough looking fish.
No, it didn't.
I wouldn't say it fought hard from what I saw, but she was really pulling up on that rod. It was enough that I went over and loosened her drag for her because I didn't want to rip it out of the mouth.
And you said the hook was just barely in, right?
Oh, it was just on the skin. It was crazy.
Yeah, that fish had been through a lot in the last couple months, it looked like. You really got
when I pulled that rod up, I had that rod straight up when I pulled on it. So I don't know if it was buried in a rock or something or what was going on, but
yeah, he's probably garden fry down there, what it looked like.
I bet.
But yeah, well, like I said,
when fish not spawned out like that.
Yeah, he should have been over 50 with that body.
Well, that's what we thought. Pete was guessing 50, and I was guessing upper 40s. That's why I said when we put it on the scale, we said 46. I said 46, and I seen 34. I was like, holy smokes. I guess I need to see these fish a little more often because I can't judge them.
No, I thought he was a lot bigger than that too, but our scales don't lie, so I didn't say anything. But getting it reweighed was definitely a good idea. But yeah, he'd been through a lot recently. It looked like so.
Usually when we fish channel cat tournaments, we got a little platform scale that we can set a 5-gallon bucket on and zero it out and weigh them, and it's usually pretty accurate. But the bigger fish, we just throw in the live well. If we got one that we think is, if you got a slot limit, on something, we'll weigh it. But the big fish, we just throw in the live well.
Yeah.
So Corey just said, you guys think someone will find 5 flatheads in Muscatine, or will big channels win it?
It's possible. I can tell you, the next pool up when they have a series called the Monsters of the Rock. He held one tournament out of the next pool up, and you could weigh 8 fish or 7 fish. I don't remember what it was. And we won that tournament, but 9 of the 10 fish I think we caught were flatheads.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. This isn't my guess, but this is what I would like to see. I'd like to see 2 or 3 flatheads and 80 pounds plus.
That'd be awesome. Hopefully it's my boat.
Yeah.
But I can remember, I think the first time I ever fished a tournament out of that Rock Island pool was Alex's Twisted Cats. No, that was the second one. Because me and Ray Sanders won your first tournament up there.
Yeah, so I think, that tournament we're all putting in at Muscatine again at 5, and then you can start fishing at 7, so you can lock through. You think some people will lock up or down?
So, I have a question.
No.
How come you went that way? How come you don't do the takeoff by the way you signed up? Or?
All right, let's go.
As it just has grown, the problem with when you get like that many boats, like did you fish Cape last year or New Madrid?
No, I didn't. Oh, we fished the championship last year.
When you're, so like when you're getting into the 60s and 70s, like even in Alt, which Alt you got no option, but it's hard to get all the boats in one ramp.
I get
in Cape struggled to get all, like I think we had 66 boats last year. To get all those boats in by 7:30, I mean, I had like 2 minutes, and then I got to do national anthem and takeoff. And then some people thought that it was kind of, as it's 65 boats, it's dangerous. And there's always that. Is it more dangerous leaving in the morning in the dark or a shotgun. You know, there's a lot of variables, but it's just growing. So a couple things is getting people to spread out further.
Right.
I don't necessarily like trailering unless you have to, like we did at this past event or Alton. But my goal
honestly,
is we all the
that
same
was the
ramp.
best thing I heard was trailering for this last tournament.
Oh, I bet. But, you know, if you leave at 5, now you have some time to go get to a spot, start fishing at 7, instead of leaving that ramp at 7:30 and then got to be back. So now you have some time in the beginning, time at the end, spreading out further as the trail's grown, you know.
No, I mean, I've had multiple people ask me why you did that. So I have no idea. Ask them. So it was a curiosity. I have no problem with it as long as everybody's honest. And
Yeah, we really, I mean, I speak for both of us, I guess, but we really missed.
I'm assuming everybody's honest.
And the takeoff, but I don't know. Like
Yeah,
I can tell you when we left Fort Madison at like 5:05, how many ducks we hit on the way up the river.
Yeah.
There was a lot of ducks out there.
Yeah, I personally feel like trailering is more dangerous than a blast off, but I don't know, because people want to drive fast in their vehicles instead of on a boat. So
it's got its pros and cons both ways. So
yeah, but we do a lot of polygraph too. So yeah, we polygraphed this weekend, and you know, it's like I said, so far it's the best way for us to kind of do that. And again, taking off usually at the same ramp, just like what we're doing Muscatine. You'll put in at 5, you can go, and then if you want to lock through. But the thing is, the further you go, you got to get back. So if you lock through and a barge gets stuck in the dam, you don't weigh fish. That's a big deal.
And we are the type of people, if we got fish, we're gonna weigh them. Because I don't remember I think it was 2 years ago at the Jack and Jill in Canton, where like 6 pounds it was in the money. You remember that?
Yeah, you never know.
Yep.
Huh?
You never know. Yeah, that's how it was. Yeah.
So last year at the Alton Classic, we put in Alton and we locked through down below the dam, and we were in the lock to get back because they wouldn't let us lock through. I think we had to be in line by 4. It was 3:43 when we're sitting in the lock because they wouldn't let us through because the barge was coming. And we put on a trailer. I don't think we even hooked a strap up and hauled Bud up to the top of the hill.
Yeah.
And I had a flat tire. We got the card checked. I says, all right, let's strap everything down and change the tire. We were like one of the last boats to weigh into that tournament last year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're going to weigh fish regardless of what size they are. Just, I mean, you went that far.
100%.
Show something for it.
I'm going to take, we take our time weighing fish. We want to get pictures. We've got Tom there taking incredible pictures. And if you got to see the pictures he did this weekend, they are
awesome. They're amazing. It's got the one with Cassie pulling that fish out of live well. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. So, I want to weigh
Haven't
everybody.
seen that one yet.
And, the most important thing is if you're going to travel 5 hours, fish an event, even if you catch a 2-pounder, go weigh that fish, have fun. It's not about, if you won the tournament that day or whatever, but, go have some fun and
so
weigh your fish. I always weigh fish.
I always hang around till the end of the weigh-in too. I mean, chat with the guys and see if you can't figure out what you did wrong or what you did right. And, I'm usually the last person to pull out.
I think on Saturday was the earliest I've ever left a weigh-in. I think we're all hungry and ready to roll.
Yeah.
But hey, by the way,
hey, I didn't get hugs from either of you. You guys
what's
were
that?
just gone to go eat. I said I didn't get no hugs from either of you.
We were beat.
About hugging.
It was hot.
We brought fans to the tournament with us to put in the boat. You know where they stayed? In the back of the truck.
Oh yeah.
Truck, yeah.
But
You know how many teams
Yeah, it was the
come
earliest
back
we've
from
ever like went to bed or anything the whole weekend.
But I don't know if
We
you know
talked
this, but they talked me into fishing Caruthersville, and so you're going too.
When is that?
Coming up soon. Did you hear that?
Cassie, I didn't say nothing.
They talked me into it.
When is
They
that?
put it on the schedule.
It's
19th.
August 19th.
That's like 3 weekends in a row. I'm
Pretty
just
much.
saying, because I'll have to have a Friday. Well, I have to have a Friday off too.
Well,
then.
you
Yeah.
win like the next 3 tournaments we fish, you can quit your job.
That sounds like a deal.
I mean, I'm looking. I got a calendar on the wall like each month, and it's pretty much November. I mean, because actually, which I got to take a trip this weekend south, and then next weekend is Muscatine, and then I'm off. Then a weekend off. Actually, is my only weekend off, and then Pekin. No. Muscatine
Caruthersville.
weekend off. Then Caruthersville the 19th. Pekin the 26th. September 2nd, Jack and Jill in Canton. September 9th, Alton Catfish Classic. September 16th, MRM. September 23rd, a quick breather. September 30th, Tulsa. The next week in New Madrid. Then I go to Megabucks, and then we go to the championship at Ouachita. I assume you guys will be the championship.
Oh, we'll be there. I'm all. I gotta show you. And this is what I'm going for. I'm gonna show you.
Whoa.
You see that thing right there?
Yep.
It says Lady Angler of the Year last year.
Yep.
I'm a little jealous.
Show off that plaque wall, Mike. That's impressive.
That's what I like to hear. You're going to get Jason Hamilton fired up saying that.
Oh, that's the plan. I already talked to him, but yeah, you want to see that again?
Holy cow.
Wow.
Is that all catfish?
But what people see that and they say, wow, but a lot of them are doubles because it's me and Cassie fishing, but it's still a lot.
Is that all from catfish tournaments or you got other stuff going on?
Oh, yeah. That's all we fish for. We get bait and we catfish.
I can't. So tomorrow morning, that's what I'm working on for a couple hours. It's going to take a couple hours to get all the points dialed in and correct, but I'm excited to see where things are at because it's going to be really tight because you've got.
But if I did my math right and you get rid of some of them guys' fourth or their fifth tournament and you're only taking 4, correct?
Yes. 4 plus 4 gets you into the championship.
Right.
But for the points, it's 4 plus the championship.
Plus the championship.
You guys
so right now, when I did it, I looked it up today when I was bored. I should be sitting second with just 4 tournaments if you take everybody's highest 4. And that would be like 10 points behind Hamilton. Because I think I beat everybody on Saturday that was ahead of me in the tournament. From what Liz said. Yeah. I'm going after that. I'm all in on that. So Cassie's got it. I got to get it. And Timothy's got it. He just don't know it yet. I've got a Rock River Team of the Year with her. We got an Illinois River Team of the Year. So.
You want to see my prized possession, guys? It's a 3rd place plaque here. This is the first tournament I ever threw, and only 2 boats showed up. So I got to keep the 3rd place plaque. That's my.
Well, that was out of Keokuk, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. So I got to keep that one.
There's a rabbit.
I know. I already seen it.
But yeah, I'm 100% all in on the points for this year. That's why I don't think anything's other than Oklahoma. I don't think anything's out of question for me this year.
Yeah, good.
I pre-registered for about every tournament I wanted to fish, and now you added Crothersville. Like, how far is Crothersville from Cape? 2 hours? 3 hours?
About an hour and 15.
Oh, that ain't bad. Because it's like 6 to Cape for us. How's the neighborhood? How's the boat
What's
ramp,
that?
I guess? Is it one boat ramp there?
Yeah, they got 2 different boat ramps.
What are you laughing at? Are we still too close to St. Louis? Shake your head for yes.
He's
Sorry.
going. He's going now. It ain't gonna stop.
Oh, okay. Somebody's in the chat. I don't know what they're saying. Oh my. Caruthersville's got 2 ramps.
Mike, hit comments.
Where's that?
If you're at the bottom of the screen, it says chat.
Roddy Myers wants to take you fishing.
Oh no,
You find it?
I made a toy.
I want to smell Mike when he's sweaty. What? Who the fuck is that?
Hey, you see.
I don't know who that is.
Well, that's kind of weird. I figured you did.
I have
I don't
no
know if it
idea
was one
who
of your
that is.
friends or something. So no, back to Caruthersville.
I have no idea who that is. You want to smell my? Yeah, well, just go on. That is funny.
All right, so Crothersville.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm back.
Crothersville.
Crothersville is it's about an hour. And,
Wow.
I think I should be watching.
Pete must have made another Facebook post page or something. All right, back to professionalism.
okay. All right. So Caruthersville, it's there's 2 ramps there. We're gonna be using the. I can't remember it's like the ramp on a little bit upriver. They've got like their own little deal. They're working on the one downtown, but we'll all use that ramp. Put in, we'll check everybody at Grizzly Jig at 5. Put boats in, and you can leave and be back at 4:30. You ever been to Grizzly Jig? Or?
I have. We actually went to Grenada crappie fishing this year, and we stopped there on the way down. That place is awesome.
Is it like a store, or that's just where they make them, or what's the?
Yeah, they got everything there.
Cool.
More crappie stuff than catfish.
Right.
You're still laughing.
Probably,
What? There more?
Sometimes you get them going, you can't stop. It's an issue. But how do you catch your moon eye on rod and reel, or you cast on them?
How can you delete that guy?
I'm trying.
I just opened the comments and seen that one. So
yeah, who knows?
Okay, I think I got it. I'm back. Sorry about that. Once Seth gets me going on something I can't stop laughing. Even Mike's crying.
that was
going.
funny.
This guy.
That was funny.
I'm okay. So yeah, Caruthersville is going to be fun. It's like Cape, but it's a small town. And it's all kind of out of Grizzly Jig, so we'll kind of have our meeting there the night before. Speaking of the captain meeting, what's your thoughts of like the bags game? I know Cassie's a lot better at catching fish than playing.
Yeah, she is. That was cool. That was fun. Yeah, I kind of figured she was going to hit that, honestly. Because
throw really high. Mine has a high
because
arc.
we used to set bags up in our garage, like one bag and play back and forth. And she'd always damn near take out a light or.
I hit the ceiling fan.
You know, there was probably, I don't know, 60 people that threw, and I'd say over 10 of them hit that pergola. So it wasn't just you.
Well, I missed the board completely.
Hey, that's, you know.
I didn't come close.
No, you didn't make it 3 feet.
I thought it was funny. JT had never thrown a bag in his life, supposedly, not once, and he hit.
I don't know that I believe that.
I don't know. He hit his first 3 and then got in like the shoot off or whatever. I don't remember exactly. He hit quite a few. Like, it was impressive.
Well, it's a hard game when you guys put something on the board too.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Everybody kept saying they needed to be more drunk. I don't know what the deal is with that, but.
Well, it wasn't us because we were there. That's why we're there that day. He goes, Alex asked me what's the average bedtime you are in a tournament. Well, this was probably the earliest.
We were all in bed at 10 o'clock both nights.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys do it.
Get a picture from them at 1 or 2 in the morning. I wake up and then I got a picture from the crew that's standing by the trailer.
I don't know how you guys do it. I'm trying to be laying down at like 8:30 before a tournament.
You're never laying down by 8:30.
It's peer pressure, and you always say you're going to pay for it the next day. But you know what? Out of all the tournaments I've ever been to, it's only been the select few that ever been stay out late that we see.
I do it every.
It's all us Northern Illinois people. What? Why?
We do it. I do it every night.
No, I'm talking when we go to tournament.
Right.
Hold on. You do what every night?
Go to bed late and then have to be up by like 3:30.
Yeah, I can't.
Kind of normal. Oh, it hurt.
I'd like to see a breakdown because you guys are really good, obviously, and you stay out late. And what average bedtime is, and then how everybody does in the tournament, if it's related at all.
But some of the tournaments that we're out late, you don't see anybody else. Because we go to the trailer, take pictures at what time, Alex? You know. There's nobody around.
But you know what? But the other thing, you have the guys that are out there and they're, talking back and forth with other teams. You take like the Massengales, there's teams that will go to bed early because they don't want to like have that dock talk, as I call it, because I'm telling Seth, hey, we caught them on the sand flats all day. They were just on fire. Like, you got to fish the sand. And then Seth's like, gets in his head. He's going to go fish sand and he's going to fish for ghost. He comes back to the weigh-in and wonder what happened when they were on the rocks.
Yeah, we know somebody.
I listen to that dock talk too, but it does. I don't change. Because how much can you believe?
Oh,
how much are they saying that you're
believes every word?
Huh?
We know somebody that believes every single word.
And I understand that to the full extent, but how much are they saying just to keep people away from certain areas?
No, we got a guy that fishes the trail. He could have caught 300-pounders on rock on Friday, and if somebody tells him they're on sand, he'll go to sand on Saturday.
Right.
Yeah. I've had a guy
right,
that
Alex?
literally he was with me at a tournament. I won't mention any names, but we're in the middle of nowhere and they come out at this gas station and they talk about, oh, look at the boat. You guys are going catfishing. There's a big tournament this weekend. Well, my uncle's brother, cousin, 6 months ago was on a sand flat over at Piney's Bend and caught a 90. So now we're good. Where he's looking on the maps for this spot to go fish, and it just throws you all out of sorts. So
same guy,
just like you say, have a game plan, stick to it, and like Adam said, if you go to a tournament and get less than 4 hours of sleep, are you even a tournament catfish angler? I'm with them.
Well, I tell you, when was that? It was about sleep. It was the cancer one I did with Pete. So we got bait on Friday. Tournament was Saturday. I come home like at 3 o'clock or something, and I took like a 3 hour nap. I could never go back to sleep. I got up at 1:30, or I finally crawled out of bed at 1:30, saying I can't sleep, and I drove to Peoria. I fished all day. We won the tournament. And I mean, that's the way it goes. You don't need a lot of sleep. But I tell you what, after I got everything put away when I got home, you never saw me again until Sunday.
Yeah, I bet.
Or one night we got a picture from a team at about 3:30 in the morning by the trailer. And then we went and let everybody go, did the blast off. We're on our way back to the hotel about 9 a.m. Got a phone call. They were just getting out of bed.
That had to have been Ray Udis and Gene Lucas.
It was.
That was at Fort Madison. That was Fort Madison.
And then after they checked in, they went to Burger King. We watched them leave the trailer, so they weren't in any hurry to get out there, I don't think.
They went through the drive-thru in Burger King with the boat.
Hey, we were messaging them because we never saw them, and we kept messaging them. Nobody had answered. I was like, "Uh-oh, what happened?" That ain't normal. And them not answering our messages, and finally we seen them run up river. No, they're alive.
Yep.
Yeah. So Mike and Cassie, tell me, what's the one thing you say that you've learned in the couple years of this tournament fishing, that if somebody brand new, a new couple, were going to start fishing these tournaments, what's something you would say that if you give them some advice?
Well, I could say a couple things on that. Don't be scared. You're not going to win them all, right? I mean, we've won we've lost a lot more than we've won. But if you have a game plan, stick to it.
Yeah, don't change it, because every time it's been changed, it's just way worse for us.
And don't be afraid to, I guess, ask questions, because if somebody comes up to me, I'm not going to lie to them about what we did or what kind of bait we used. I'm not that type of person. So
help each other out.
Yeah, I want to see the sport grow, so I'm trying to, kind of promote it a little bit.
100%.
And I don't know what else, but don't be shy. I mean, ask. I've learned a lot from just, or I should say, eavesdrop. I've done that. Eavesdrop. Listen to people. I mean, definitely. I've learned a lot just doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, Ryan Calger's on. He got a question. He was messaging me this morning. He said, "What's the best thing to do when you catch a good fish in the first 15 minutes of the tournament and it's hot out?" Well, my answer is obviously fresh water.
Fresh water and oxygen.
Yep.
And I'll say
that is the worst, though, ain't it? Because then you got to babysit that fish all day long.
Yep.
When we fished that the Jeffersonville tournament, I caught that fish. I ended up looking at my phone at 7:03 when we had that fish in the boat. I think I picked that rod up 8 times and bumped it. And that fish went on. Casey, I don't know how to say his last name. Tutro.
Yeah, Tutro.
He was fishing like 50 yards from us, and maybe a little further, probably a little further. But he goes, "Dude, you caught that fish pretty quick." I said, "That surprised me."
We thought it was gonna be one of them days where we catch nonstop.
Yeah, it was too quick, too early to catch a fish like that, and then it went downhill. But
I would say before you go to a tournament, because I had this problem with my last boat. You need to be confident in your batteries. I
Well-
was nervous. I was nervous in my last boat. I couldn't run my pumps all day. They'd go dead. So before you leave to go to a tournament, you need to know that you can, if you catch one 5 minutes in the tournament, you need to flip the live well fill on and leave it on for 8 hours. Those fish need fresh water all day long, especially in hot.
Well, that too, and on batteries. And I have one sponsor in this whole industry, and that's a hook sponsor, and Flathead Fever, tackle out of Mississippi. But I bought Pro Guide batteries for my trolling motor. Oh, I recommend that to everybody.
Oh yeah.
We spot
We all
locked it all day long, and that trolling motor ran on 10 the whole day.
Yep. Yep.
And
all
I
three
should
of
have
us
checked them
Pro
yesterday
Guide.
before I plugged it in, but I don't. But and I run. So I got 3 lithium batteries for my trolling motor, and I got 2 other batteries for everything else. And I've never had an issue, and they're not anything special. Just O'Reilly's or AutoZone battery for the other ones.
Yep. And Alex showed me this. We run 2 Group 31 AGM Pro Guide batteries in series. And that's what we run for our house batteries. And yeah, you can run all day long. All your pumps on, your lights and everything, you don't have to worry about it.
Really? Them are the starting batteries?
Just
What are
AGM
they?
31.
Yeah,
Really?
Group 31 AGMs.
I run them in parallel, and they're a beast. You know,
Oh yeah,
I got
terrible. Yeah.
stereo amp and sonars and all
And
that
that
stuff.
whose boat's that in? Yours is out there, Alex's.
Both.
Really?
He showed.
There
He
ain't a
showed
lot
me
of room
that.
in my Pro Cat for extra batteries in the back.
I'll show you.
Yeah, so we can fit. We've all got the same, rear battery compartment. You can fit 3 on one side. You got to finagle them, and then the other 2 fit in the other side just fine.
Yeah, I got 5 in the back of mine, but it was kind of a pain getting them all in there.
Yeah.
I had to remove parts to cover the pumps and to get them in. And
Yep, I did the same thing.
I have to say, probably one of the other best things I ever bought for my boat was them smooth move seats.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Game changer.
Big difference.
Never have another boat without them.
No.
Alex even has smooth moves on his back seats now. So all 4 seats in there have smooth moves on them.
Well, Alex is a high
Usually-
roller.
Well, usually if I'm out in my boat, I'm sitting in the back seat and somebody else is driving. I don't know why that is. If I'm in somebody else's boat, I'm always driving. If it's in my boat, somebody's driving my boat, and I'm in the back seat.
Weird.
It's very weird, isn't it, Seth? It is. I don't understand it.
It is. He always wants to give up the captain seat.
How you like that Dynasty?
I love it.
I was going to tell you to bring it and let me take it out fishing for the tournament this past weekend, but I didn't.
I
It
don't
ain't
want
had
you to
much
break
slime
some-
in it yet,
I
has
don't
it?
want you to break well, it has. It has. It's done really well. I just
Really?
don't want you to break the record already in it, and then I got to beat some ridiculous 168 pounds in the 3.
Well,
You're gonna have to wait a while.
They give you a goal.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, Spencer kind of screwed me. Now I got to go catch a 66 to try and beat him. So
So where's Alex? I got to ask this question. Where's the sheephead queen at?
Walmart. Just got back from Walmart.
I give her some crap because we always give each other crap up here when we catch sheephead. About you catching sheephead, now you're the king. You caught them all. I mean, we catch a lot of sheephead up this way. I wouldn't
Yeah,
bet.
well-
I bet somebody will catch 5 sheephead in your Muscatine tournament.
oh yeah, we get them in Keokuk a lot too.
They reel them in, and then they find out that that's what they got.
I've caught some monster sheephead with live shad flathead fishing up there in Rock Island. I thought I had something special, and that it was. I'll have to find the picture and share it with you, but it was huge.
They fight pretty good.
It's we caught one in Illinois one time too in a tournament. I was like, holy cow, we got something good. No,
Do you
sheephead.
move out of that area then, or do you stay and try to catch some of the channel cat in that area, or is it?
Oh, we'll stay for a little while, depending on if we're catching catfish. But I mean, Sheephead are a bottom feeder, right?
So you think that they intermingle together?
I do. Am I right? I have no idea, but
What about gar? You think gar and catfish
oh,
will
I
hang close to?
if we catch a gar, we're
They're
out.
moving.
And there'll be a lot of. I think there'll be a lot of gar caught in Muscatine too, especially in
Gar are
areas
so
you wouldn't think
frustrating
you'd catch.
too because you don't know that they're gar because you can't get a hook in them. So you're
Right.
getting tons of bites.
And people have rods if they go to this certain area. They'll have rods buried, and they ain't gonna touch a fish. And we learned that, and when we fished a tournament down in Kentucky Lake, you could fish anywhere you wanted. So we put in below the Kentucky Dam. I don't remember what river that was. Was it the Tennessee?
Maybe. Yeah, it was.
We had so many rods buried, and we ended up putting stinger hooks on just because we didn't know what was going on. Cause, I mean, they were doubling over, and you couldn't even touch a fish. But they had to be gar.
Right.
But yeah, if we catch gar, we're going.
Well,
And we ran in that up in Muscatine in one spot, and we left it.
I think Seth would be a really good sheephead fisherman.
He looks like a sheephead guy.
He does. I mean, he really does.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the weird thing is you can catch sheephead on any bait you throw out there.
They really like worms.
Well, I mean, I've caught them on live shad, cut shad, moon eye, everything. I've heard stories on live bullheads.
Yeah. Well, gosh, we've been on here for 2 hours, Seth. Laughing. It's the most I've ever laughed on a live.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go back and find out who that was.
Yeah.
That was Mike and Ellie or something. That was like Ike and Ellie, like, you know, the bass fisherman guy.
Bass fisherman, yeah.
Yeah.
So is there anything else you guys want to know from us on what we do and how we do it? Anybody?
Yeah,
I don't see comments, so I can't see any of the answer questions. So.
Yeah, no, I've been asking you the comments and stuff. That's kind of the questions I've been coming up with. But no, I'd love to have you all on again, and as this continues to grow, we'll do some on the water stuff.
Hey, this is that's a good point. Les had they carry an extra 100 gallons of water in the bed of the truck for trailing tournaments, so they can change the water when they get in the line.
Interesting.
That's probably not a bad idea. You know, when we left, we put in whatever that town is, Cairo or whatever. And I was like, we were driving down the road. It was 45 minutes from Cairo to Red Star, and we're driving down the road, and I'm thinking, man, was that pump actually running pretty good? The recirc pump, because I've had it where we've left a fishing spot and that screen gets plugged up and it's not really spraying when we get back to the boat ramp.
Oh yeah.
So we ended up pulling over like halfway back, and I went out and checked the pump, make sure it was running, even though we had the oxygen going on them, and it was fine. But it's something that's always in your head. If you got decent fish, and if you got a long way to travel, stop and check them.
Yeah. Well, oxygen, ammonia levels is huge too.
Right.
Can kill with plenty of oxygen in the water. Ammonia you'd still kill them. So fresh water is always good.
But I also carry a spare screen over my suction, but I also carry a brush in my boat, like a scrubbing brush for like dishes, that I can scrub that screen if it gets clogged up. And also, I mean, I'll babysit fish all day long, and I don't like keeping more than, so if you're supposed to weigh 5 fish or 3 fish, we'll usually keep one extra for quite a while. But I don't like keeping a lot more than that, just because I don't want to get it too crowded. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I learned a
But
little
I'm
trick from
constantly opening that live well, checking on them.
all the time. Yeah, I learned a trick
I
from
mean,
Jake.
I don't want to see a catfish die. And I don't know if you guys ever noticed this either, but we had a catfish die 2 weeks ago. But it was a channel cat, and it had a whole bunch of black speckles on it. Have you guys ever seen that?
Oh yeah. Like little parasites.
Yeah. What do you guys know? What is up with them fish? Every fish we've ever caught like that have died when you put them in the live well.
Yeah, probably sick.
It's either they're floating upside down shortly after you put them in there, and we throw them out because we don't want to contaminate the water. But our best fish died in one tournament that was had black speckled spots all over it, and I don't know why it died, because we had the pump running and everything, and every other fish lived just fine, just that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
But I don't know if blue cats get that way, if there's certain fish that look on blue cats, because we're new to the blue cat game, but we're addicted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And we're coming for you, Hamilton. So
Hey, that's my last question. Is what do you got to say to Jason Hamilton right now?
Oh, me and Jason talked at Jeffersonville, and we talked a little. Said he wasn't coming to Illinois to fish some tournaments. He had something else planned. He goes, "Well, we should put the target on your back, huh? Well, if you want to." But there's other teams that are going to be fishing down south too that have only fished a few tournaments, and you got two more tournaments coming up. So them tournaments could be a big game changer for a lot of things.
Oh yeah.
Like John Jameson just won that tournament this past weekend. He's fished a couple other tournaments, right?
Yeah, he's got a first and a second.
Yeah, and he hasn't done horrible in his other one. So, I mean,
it ain't over yet.
Right.
It's not how many you win; it's how consistent you can be.
100%.
Yep.
We're losing light.
We are.
Yeah, we're gonna have to jump off here. It's been 2 hours now, so.
But hey, thanks. Hey, thanks for being on. We enjoyed it, and we will see you in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll probably see a lot in the next month or so. Yeah. I'm really contemplating coming to Caruthersville. And probably New Madrid. The only one I probably won't come to is Oklahoma.
You just need one more good fish. That's gonna help a lot.
That's ready for bed.
Oh yeah.
It's still early.
Not for me.
Yeah, they're just getting started.
No. Got another hour.
Mike, another hour. Well, Mike and Cassie, thank you so much for being on. We appreciate it. And like I said, we'll see you here in a couple weeks. And have a good week off. And you're going to Florida?
Yeah.
Yeah, we leave. We're going to leave tomorrow at probably 6 o'clock and drive down to Florida.
There you go.
Awesome.
I got work tomorrow till 5, and then we'll probably leave home at 6 and drive straight to Florida. I tried letting her let me take the boat because we're going to go right by Wheeler and let me stay at Wheeler for a week, and they can come pick me up on the way home. But
they never understand.
No, they don't.
Understand. That's how it goes.
So before we go, Cassie caught her biggest fish at Wheeler in that. You guys remember when that chick fight tournament was?
Yeah.
So that was her biggest fish. So she's upgraded 3 times in your tournament, Alex, on her big fish.
So what's next?
My turn, because she's got the biggest fish in the boat bumping. So I I was thinking about that on the way home, and I just blurted out a cuss word yesterday on the way home. I said, I said it was a bad word, and I said, you got the biggest fish bumping. So.
And literally yesterday was a year of me just starting and learning how to do it.
That's what I said. And both of us, really.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's awesome. 1 year and you've came this far.
Oh yeah.
You got to put in the work.
All right.
Okay. Well, you all have a good night.
You
Enjoy
too.
your Florida trip. Safe, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yep.
See you guys.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
everybody, for watching. We'll see you next Monday.